Oh, it's
I look like
gorgeous.
fucking Bill Murray in Kingpin. Hello and welcome to the first ever mini-sode of Another Film Club. Today we'll be doing another movie called Another Round, a Swedish film that's actually from Denmark. It reunites Thomas Vinterberg and Mads Mikkelsen, which we watched for The Hunt. And yeah, I was very excited for this movie. Carl and I unabashedly love Mads Mikkelsen. The hook is not exactly what the movie's about, so
yeah,
I'm excited to watch it again because watching it, I was very focused on the alcohol aspect of it when it actually turns out to be more about the character of Mads Mikkelsen and him rediscovering his love for life. It also really made me want to have a Sazerac.
So of the four friends, only Nikolai, the one with the bedwetting kid, was not in The Hunt. The older three, the one who plays...
The music teacher was?
I don't remember who he played, but he is in The Hunt.
Okay. He must be... he could be one of the friends, like Willie drinking another beer type thing. So Carl was talking with Promising Young Woman about the ending and how if it was different, would we still have that same thing? I think with this one, if there isn't that dance scene at the end, I don't think the movie's as good if it's just him like looking off into the scene. But they set it up so well, bringing up the jazz ballet.
Yeah.
And he finally does, and you just see that full acceptance of it. Because I actually texted Carl about this. I thought the wife texting back was a little Deus Ex Machina, where his problem gets resolved off screen a little bit. But it doesn't, it's not such a cheap ending because he himself has changed.
It honestly, that scene reminded me of taking ecstasy. Like, like there are definitely moments of taking ecstasy where it is very much like you cannot stop moving. I found myself crying during that scene at the end of the movie, but they weren't tears of sadness. They were like these weird tears of bliss, and I didn't quite know what to make of it.
I've been listening to that song on repeat.
I've also been listening to that song ever since you sent it. But what I find interesting about it in comparison to The Hunt is The Hunt really is one of the best movies probably I've ever seen, period.
It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. And that movie makes me feel so many things. I find that to be a very challenging watch. Like, it is not only like a challenging film to get through, but I think it's also a challenging movie to unpack. And this movie, same filmmaker, same star, right? Definitely doesn't feel the same. The filmmaker's so good at like directing these actors that like it almost feels like a documentary at times because it's so realistic, you know. But what's interesting is that like I don't know if it has as much of an agenda or as much to say as The Hunt does. And I hate to compare it to that, but like that's the only thing I have to compare it to right now. And I'm kind of okay with that. They're not trying to say this like big fantastical thing. It's not trying to like fuck me over and trying to make me reevaluate my entire life.
You know what it is? It's having like it's like a summer movie versus a December release.
Guys, I think my favorite moment was at the 81-minute mark. That's right after he gets the news that she's been cheating on him. He goes to his friends. They drink super heavily, and there's no sound.
That's a wonderful scene.
You're just watching the complete and utter destruction of everybody's lives, and that's when they say, "Experiment over. We're done."
With that, I think like that was my concern is that like like all of these guys' lives are going to be ruined, and then the end of the movie is going to be just sad.
I really didn't want that movie.
Or like the experiment keeps going and like, you know, they keep drinking and they just get worse and worse until eventually they're all homeless and jobless and childless and wifeless, etc.
And it's a Danish movie, so like it's not out of the realm of possibility.
It's not out of the realm of possibility.
You know?
We have to stop due to like health reasons and fear of alcoholism. The scene that really, really hooked me, because I was already in 100%, just the power of Mads Mikkelsen. The first dinner scene, when he has that sip and he isn't talking at all, and then it just sticks on him, and all of a sudden like his eyes start to water and you just see all this emotion. You see him contemplating the past 2 decades or a decade of his life, and he's just slowly just going like, me and my wife were growing apart, and it's just It's one of the greatest acting I've ever seen because it's so subtle at first. You're like, is this intentional? It was like, and then it ends up being part of the scene.
Mads Mikkelsen tells more of a story with a quivering lip than like any actor working right now. It's crazy that he can do that.
How about how spry he is for what, 54, 55 with that last dance?
I was telling,
oh my God.
No, he's not a trained actor. He actually started off as a dancer.
Oh, okay.
And then Vinterberg wrote that into the movie just to see if he could dance again. They filmed it over 4 days with Mads Mikkelsen dancing for 4 to 5 hours each day for a total of 16 to 20 hours of dancing.
Like that scene really pulls the entire movie together because my feelings changed about the film with that scene.
It's regardless of the drug, like, it's just the definition of ecstasy and euphoria.
And that's the scene I'm going to talk about.
I can't stop thinking about it.
Me neither. I know. The whole, like, when I watched that on Friday night, I watched that one scene, like, out of context, like, 3 or 4 times over the weekend. But, like, you know, if we talk about The Hunt, I'm going to talk about The Hunt as a whole. Like, I'm going to talk about it, like, as a whole entity, right? But if I'm going to talk about Another Round, my first thing that I'm always going to say is, how about that dance climax?
For both films, the ending is what makes the film work so well. Like,
good point.
That's interesting. That's a really good point.
The whole film together.
That's a good point, yeah.
That's very rare. I think he is a master craftsman. He is absolutely a master craftsman.
Well, yeah, everything feels so natural,
Great filmmaker.
but it's also insanely calculated and deliberate.
Yeah, they have great chemistry, like all 4 of those guys too. All 4 of those actors, like
100%.
You would believe that they've been friends forever.
Their first, it was either the first time they all met or the first time they did a read-through. They got drunk together to like help break the ice.
Awesome.
Yeah, there was no drinking on set, but they would afterwards they would go out to bars.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad that they wouldn't drink during work, I guess.
Oh, hey there. Looks like you made it to the end. If you'd like to hear the full episode of the podcast, you can find us on Spotify as Another Film Club, where we take deeper dives into the many different genres of film. Hope to see you soon. Until then, take care, and don't forget your popcorn.